Beautiful people, welcome back to my channel for another awesome video. If you are new, then a very special welcome to you. Today we'll be making DIY photo tiles. These photo tiles are made of 8x8 MDF sentimental wall plaques from Dollar Tree. These are very quick and easy, and I'll show you how to make them right now. Let's get started. I also made this grid style version of the photo tiles. Before I get into how I made the actual tiles, I'm going to show you how I did the grid. The app I use is called Photo Grid. So first I go into my app and then I go into the grid section and it will direct me to my photos in my phone, and this is the photo that I'm going to use for this demonstration. So I went down to the bottom and searched for a square grid with 4 sections on it, and this is how it got the photo. Split the one photo into 4 sections, and then the app also allows you to add text and stuff to it. So I just add this text so I could give it some flair and uniqueness to it. And this photo is actually my personal photo that I took when I was on vacation in Jamaica. So yeah, it's something that you can make for a souvenir and just, personalize it. You can use any photos that you have to do either the other version that I show you or this version. You could even use the 3x3 grid or the 4x4 grid, depends on how big you want your photo to be on your wall. You can play around with the text, color, whatever you want. Just make it personal, make it unique to you. So I'm just, showing you the different ways that you can do it. And yeah, but I'm gonna stick to this pink version, just keeping it simple for the purpose of this video. So I'm basically done with mine now. So all you have to do after you finish personalize it and stuff is to click done, and it will save to your photos in your phone. The next step after you have created the grid and everything is to go back into your photos that's in your phone. See, this is the photo that I did in photo grid. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 3 different screenshots of the photo that I did from my photos. Yeah, so 3 different screenshots so I can have 4 different photos. And then what I do after I get those 4 photos is I edit the photos I edit those 4 pictures in my photo. So for each of them I take a different section and I just crop it to that section. So I have the 4 sections of the photo, and then after I'm done doing all of that, I just save those to my photos, and then I'll send those to Walmart to get it print in a 8x8. Like all 4 of them will be printed as 8x8 so they can fit to the tile that I have, because the tile is a 8x8 tile. So when you put the 4 sections together, it looks like one 16x16 photo. So there you have it. That's it. The quick, easy demonstration of how I get my 4 grid photos for my other technique, my photo grid technique with the 4 photos on it that I showed you earlier. So I don't think you have to use photo grid. So whatever photo app you have that can do like a grid thing, then you can use that. So you can see these are the 4 photos that I have. So now let's make the photo tile. I've had these plaques for a while now because I did some photo tiles for myself some time ago, and I ordered these from dollartree.com. The The first thing I did was to remove that sign from the plaque, and then I painted it black. Now this is what you want it to look like. I used acrylic paint to paint all of mine, but you can just paint the edges of yours if that's your preference. Okay, so today I'll be using an old calendar to get some pictures from to use for my photo tiles. But before, when I did my personal ones, I used photos with my family, and I ordered some 8x8 photos from Walmart, which are like almost $3. I got my pictures and then I cut them out to the specific size to fit the plaque, which is 8x8, of course. But if you want to use the photos, which are a little more expensive than these, it's your personal preference. So do what is easier and best and more affordable for you. What you see me doing here is I'm using my marker to trace the pattern of the plaque onto the paper before I use my X-Acto knife to cut the pattern out. We all know how expensive these photo tiles can get when you order them online or on the app or whatever, but when you do it like this, it is so much cheaper and so much affordable, and you get beautiful wall decor for your home, you know, personalized to your special taste. You can use whatever you want, photos of your family, landscape, whatever you like, and it turns out very beautiful. I could tell you, I've had some for so long, and it it does wonders for your decor, honestly. Okay, so in order to get my lines very accurate, I'm using my ruler and my X-Acto knife on top of my cutting mat to just cut it out accurately and make sure that it will be the exact size that I want for my plaque. Always be careful when using this knife because it is so ridiculously sharp. Like, yeah, you don't want to get injured by this because it it will be something tragic. So just be careful with doing this part, and you'll get your beautiful photo tiles at the end. So now that you have your picture all done, the next thing you need to do is to measure it to make sure that it's accurate. The size is 8x8 to match the plaque that you're gonna put it on. Right here, I'm using my cutting mat because it have the measurements on it to try to measure it to get it as accurate as possible. So that makes it a little bit easier than just using the ruler. I know that getting it right, getting the measurement right, it can be a little bit tricky because it takes a lot of patience and precision in order to get it just right, in order to fit perfectly. So getting the 8x8 photo done can be a little bit less time consuming and make it a lot easier for you, but that's up to you, as I said before, because this way it's a little bit more inexpensive. Also, what you can do is get the 8 by 10 photo, especially if you're doing like personal photos. You could get the 8 by 10 photos because it's cheaper than the 8 by 8 photos for some reason. I don't know why, but you can just get an 8 by 10 and then you cut the top off. Those 2 inches you can cut off to fit these. So now that we have that all done, it's time to move on to the next step, which is to get the photo onto the plaque. So what I did here was I measured it before I stick it to it. I just measured it to ensure that it will fit. Now that you fit it for size, just set your picture aside and then we'll be using Mod Podge to adhere the picture to the plaque. Make sure to add a generous amount of Mod Podge to your plaque so that it sticks well. Your picture will adhere to it well and it won't just fall off because that happens sometimes. What I'm using here is matte Mod Podge, but you can use whichever one, gloss or even the Mod Podge spray at this point if you want to, because it will stick either way. But I just use this because this is what I have, and with the spray I use that at the end, as you'll see. Now that you've added your Mod Podge to your plaque, just put your picture on top of the Mod Podge and just take your time to make sure that there's no air bubbles in it. The thing with using the paper or the calendar to do this is that it's prone to air bubbles, so just be careful when doing that, okay? And if you get air bubbles, what I did was I just used a pin and poked a hole inside where the air bubbles is and try to let the air out as best as possible. So that's one thing you could try as well. After you've adhered your picture to your plaque, make sure to wipe off any excess Mod Podge that might be sticking out, because you don't want, even though the Mod Podge is going to dry clear, you don't want that extra layer of anything being on your picture. So just make sure you clean it up properly before you move on to the next step, which is to let it dry for a little bit. After your picture has been dried for a little while, the last thing you're going to do is to spray the Mod Podge on the top. The reason why I use the spray Mod Podge on top was because when I did my other photo tiles, I used the gloss Mod Podge and it left streaks on top of it, so you want to use the spray on top here. Okay, y'all, these are all the ones that I made, and in order to adhere it to my wall, I use a command strip to do that. So all the things that I used, as usual, will be in the description below, so please check that out. That's it, guys. I hope you try this really fun and easy project for yourself. And thank you so very much for watching. Love y'all. Until next time, stay blessed. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and have a sunshiny day.